it's the fact they ain't had school though.
Boom. I know it. Jared Mayo. Mark. Jared Mayo is out as head coach of the New England Patriots. And Tyreek Hill, this joker, told the media that he is out, bro. Meaning he wants out of Miami. I got a feeling these two topics is going to just break the mold tonight. We're doing it big here. It's Friday night. We're doing it big right here. It's Friday night right here on The Real Sports Talk Show.
I can't accept the loss. I'm hard-headed. There's a little bit of madness to my method. Many falling off that fine line that I'm treading. I risk anything to be great, and I'm not letting nobody rob me of my victory. Number one, that's what I'm meant to be. When by any means, only thing that makes sense to me, I can make nice or make history. I got that dog in me, yeah. Turn me up. Big energy, got the crowd going nuts. I got that dog in me, yeah. I take on anyone, I don't need a one-on-one. I got that dog in me, yeah. I'm talking all bite, no bark. I could rip your squad apart. I got that dog in me, so what's up? Yeah, so what's up? I told her move over, enough of that mediocre. I've been the man since cruising around in the stroller. I got ice in my veins like a cut in Minnesota. Why not show you how I'm built? Come a little closer, ayy. Lot of heart, been smart, aura gotta glow. We can restart, give head start, still get the same result. I'm about mine, don't you get it confused. I'ma win again, yeah, that's all that I do. I got that dog in me, yeah.
Man, we thank you guys so very much for being here with us on this unusual Friday night. But we are the Real Sports Podcast, and this is the Real Sports Talk Show. And around here, man, we talk about some of the hottest topics going on in professional sports, whether if it's the NBA, NFL, UFL, three-time UFL champion Birmingham Stallions, UFL, college football. You want it? We will talk about it, man. Tonight's show is sponsored by SeatGeek and Bonfire, the official home of the Real Sports Podcast merchandise. All those T-shirts and good old hats and hoodies. It's cold outside, so I advise you to click on the link in the description box below this video and get your hoodie. Get 15% off if you put in real two. Can't remember my own promo code R2 gear in the promo code when you check out. Get 15% off. So you get like a $20, $25 hoodie. Real authentic. Go get it right now, ladies and gentlemen, right here on the Real Sports Podcast. All right, man. I got the gentlemen. I got these guys right here. Oh, man. And y'all know who they are, but I got to do it anyway. The day one. He is the day one kid. I'm copyright that, Mark, so you can't use it. The day one kid. My man. The man has more episodes than anybody. He is the longest tenure podcast panel on this show. And he represents the three-time Super Bowl champion, the Las Vegas Raiders. Oklahoma State?
Yeah.
Oklahoma State alumni. Go Pokes. Go Pokes. The man knows professional wrestling to a T, ladies and gentlemen. He is a professional wrestling archive machine. He is the very talented and Mr. Young Mark.
Hey, man, what's going on, peoples? I'm going to share something with you guys that host already knows, but college football has been around since 1869, and for the very first time in 2025, a black man will be competing for the national championship at the highest level of college football, and his name is Marcus. I'm telling you, people, you get somebody in your life named Marcus, great things are going to happen. Watch him turn stuff into greatness. Ask host about that.
Freeman, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact. Come on, Freeman. You got to bring it home, bro.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Marcus.
Mr. Marcus.
Put on for all the Marcuses around the world.
Marcus with the clean hairline. Ooh,
Yeah, man.
That was super crispy
That
all the time.
crispy, man.
For real. Pretty boy Marcus. I hope he do it though. I ain't gonna say I can't
I
stand
gotta have
today.
date tonight after the show.
Right, hey, you know what I'm saying? $1 million. $1 million. Oh, yeah, we all know who he is, ladies and gentlemen, representing the Jacksonville Jaguars, ladies and gentlemen. And
tonight I'm representing the Celtics.
The defending NBA champion, the Boston Celtics, ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 Ritter Sports Podcast MVP. He is Rockstar Rock, and he's in the building.
How y'all doing? Good evening, everybody. You coming at you on a usual night, which is Friday. So, we know everybody want to get out there and party, do their thing, enjoy the weekend. So we ain't going to hold y'all up. Right. We're going to get this thing started, and Happy New Year again, everybody.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. And if you're on the East Coast, you snowed in, so you ain't got no choice but to watch it.
Everybody out there, be safe, man. Watch that black ice out there if you out here in the DMV.
Yeah, bullshit.
Supposed to get a little bit more later on.
That shit crazy, bro. I was in it today. Oh, my God. It's crazy. Huh? Last but not least, representing the mighty Minnesota Vikings. He's the OG of this fine establishment. Cool, calm, and collected. He's too hot to handle, and he's too cold to hold. He is the legendary Q-Dog.
What's going on, peoples? Glad y'all tuned in on this Friday night. It's snowy night. Hope everybody's safe. Nobody got in no wrecks or anything, and everybody safe at home with their family. And just glad y'all tuned in tonight.
Yes, sir. The dog. Getting ready for Monday in your big dog.
Oh, yeah.
It's going down, baby. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Los Angeles Rams. Can't wait. Can't wait. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like Rockstar Rock said, we're not going to hold you guys tonight, but we got two of the most hottest topics going on in the NFL. These guys are going to give you their opinion on what they think about it. Before we start the show, man, much love and prayers to the people of Los Angeles, California. Experiencing that devastating wildfire. Many people have lost their homes, their loved ones, some of their lives. It's just crazy out there in California. It's just major devastation out there, man. It's sad. It's really sad, man. I mean, from Hollywood to West Los Angeles, but it's just sad out there, man. So a lot of people lost their homes, and it's just a sad thing. But on behalf of myself and the Real Sports Podcast, we nothing but condolences for the people of Los Angeles, man. One thing about Los Angeles, they're strong people, and they're gonna be LA strong. LA strong out there, man. All right. First thing first on the list. First things first. Something, ladies and gentlemen, is going on in New England. Oh, my God. It is going on in New England. The New England Patriots, they fire head coach Jared Mayo following a 4-13 first season in New England. New England Patriots have fired in battle head coach Jared Mayo following a disappointing 4-13 debut season. This is all reported by my source, Ian Rappaport. The team quickly confirmed the news via a statement from owner Robert Kraft. After the game, I informed Jared Mayo that he would not be returning as the head coach of the New England Patriots in 2025. Kraft said, "For me personally, this was one of the hardest decisions I ever made. I've known Jared for 17 years, and he earned my respect and admiration as a rookie in 2008 and throughout his career for his play on the field, his leadership in the locker room, and the way he conducted himself in our community. When he joined our coaching staff, his leadership was even more evident. As I saw how the players responded to him when other teams started requesting to interview him, I feared I would lose him and committed to making him our next head coach. Winning our season opener on the road at Cincinnati only strengthened my convictions. Unfortunately, the trajectory of our team's performances throughout the season did not ascend as I hoped. Kraft had been a Mayo supporter, essentially prepping him behind the scenes as Bill Belichick's eventual replacement prior to parting ways with the six-time Super Bowl champion head coach after the 2023 season. But the former Patriots linebacker appeared to struggle both with the football operations part of the job as well as with keeping his locker room together. Kraft had only hired 3 coaches in his 30-year as owner, and that was Pete Carroll, Belichick, and Mayo. Carroll coached for 3 seasons before Belichick returned to New England to start his epic run towards 6 Super Bowl titles. Mayo now becomes the Patriots' first one-and-done coach since Rod Russ' 1-15 season in 1990. Let's start this thing off with Mr. Episode himself. Mr. Episode, Jared Mayo is out. My question to you, Mr. Episode, why now and why so fast?
The media would have you to believe that this was due to the things that Coach Mayo said in his press conferences after a couple of games. Like in one example where he called the team soft. Some people would say it's when dudes were anonymously being quoted as saying that the team had zero direction. There was no direction on that team, according to sources from within the locker room. Or it could be the disdain that the fans are starting to express towards what Coach Mayo had done with the Patriots. There was one report that came out a couple of days ago that after they got destroyed by the Cardinals on the plane ride home, instead of watching film, trying to figure out what happened, they said that Coach Mayo was playing cards with his players. So if you believe that stuff, it's easy to see why he was one and done. The team wasn't prepared. They didn't feel like they had a leader, and he wasn't doing the necessary things that it takes to be not only an NFL head coach, but just a football head coach in general. So that's if you believe that side, that would be the reason why. But me personally, I don't think so. I think some of those reports that came out, I feel like were kind of like a smear campaign, if you will, due to the large amount of negative backlash the Patriots got after they announced it. Coach Mayo had been fired. You had dudes who were former players that both played with the Patriots and dudes who just played in the league who were adamantly upset and appalled by this man getting fired after 1 year. The on-the-field stuff, like the bad time management and all that, I get it. Dude was quite literally a first-time head coach, so that kind of stuff, you expect to happen. But I don't know, man. It just seemed like, what did he have to work with? Anybody who was an NFL analyst leading up to the 2024 draft was literally saying the Patriots have one of, if not the worst roster in the entire National Football League. They were devoid of talent. I personally can't even name one freaking wide receiver on that team. So what did Coach Mayo really have to work with from a skill position perspective? The offensive line was horrible. The defense had a couple of pieces, but as everybody on here knows, if you don't have any resemblance of an offense, your defense isn't going to stand a chance. So I'm like mixed emotions about it. I feel like he should have been given another chance, because we have people like Adam Gase and Josh McDumbass and Rich Kotite who were able to get not only multiple seasons in the NFL, but multiple chances at that. I feel like even, worst case scenario with Coach Mayo, he should have been given at least one more year. Learn from the mistakes you made year one, and come back and show some type of improvement in year 2. If you don't, then I understand letting him go. But this, I feel like this was uncalled for. I feel like they felt like they had to honor the Rooney Rule, and that's why they hired him. They really wanted Mike Vrabel, but to appease the Rooney Rule, they interviewed Coach Mayo and
good point.
Just said, well, the hell with it. We're going to be terrible this year anyways. Let's give the black guy a chance. We know he's going to fail, but let's give him a chance. Then we can get rid of him and hire the guy we really want when we're in a better position to win immediately. So that's my opinion on it.
You got a good point with that Rooney Rule. That's a damn good point. I was going to hit that, but you already did. That's good. It's a good point. Mr. MVP. You know, Mark said he was just talking about the roster and really not having nothing to work with. But my question to you, MVP, is lying. No, not at all. It was garbage. Like Mark said, you can't even.
Was only name was Booty, and then somebody else.
Yeah, Booty. What? Huh? Like I don't get it.
I forgot the other receiver that they had. That was a draft pick of theirs a few years, like a year or so ago, I think.
Christian Gonzalez.
Nah, he played defense, right?
Oh,
Gonzalez, they cornerback.
Yeah,
they had another wide receiver that was supposed to be one of the number one guys there, but I can't remember his name right now. He was in and out of the lineup anyway. But the thing about, to get back on topic as far as with Jared Mayo and whatnot, I just look at it as it's pretty sad, because here's a guy like I'm not even gonna lie, I used to watch Jared Mayo when he played at Tennessee, when he was a linebacker at Tennessee back in the day. You know, used to use him on the video games when he played with Tennessee back in the old NCAA games and on Madden, and when you used the and whatnot, because the old Madden is on the PS2. The Patriots had a nice little linebacking core and good offense things that Nate's not gonna get back to that. But I just think that they should have gave the guy at least another chance. They hit on the draft with getting a quarterback this year. They had a number 1 pick this year, so they can be able to add some more weapons, to what they was trying to build. But like you said, to me, like Mark said, to me, I just look at it like it's a fail within that system of African Americans being able to getting that opportunity to, or Black Americans being able to have that opportunity to be a head coach, and actually be a head coach with a good nucleus of a surrounding. All of the guys that became head coaches, they become head coaches, and they're given the job with the team that nobody is expecting them to do. Like, okay, for example, I hate to use it, but Antonio Pierce didn't get a good shot. He wasn't given a fair shot to maneuver the roster the way he wanted to, because the organization didn't give him an opportunity to go out there and get the quarterback for the franchise. But they're going to allow somebody else to come in and bring that, get that guy for that franchise. With Jared Mayo in his first year being the head coach with the Patriots, they were able to get the guy they needed as a quarterback position. Now, going into year 2, you don't know what opportunities this brother can bring to the organization. He told everybody he was the successor. Why did you go out here and Robert Kraft and tell everybody that he was the successor to the great Bill Belichick if you was only going to give this man 1 year? If you was only going to give this man a prove-it year, when you knew the guy who you really wanted to be the successor was the guy who was orchestrating W's down there in the AFC South, the Tennessee Titans. That's who he really wanted. He wanted Vrabel, like Mark said, but he went along with the rule because he probably knew the Rooneys. So he was probably doing that to be one of the owners that will, because Robert Kraft took a chance on Antonio Brown for right, I believe, right? Didn't he bring Antonio Brown and whatnot? Took a chance on Randy Moss. Took a chance on Deontay Stallworth. Some of these guys was having issues.
Jesus.
He took a chance on, but I can see why he probably did that with Jared Mayo. So nobody will be looking at him like, oh, well, Robert Kraft don't. It's not like he's not one of the guys that will hire African American to be a head coach because he can say, yeah, I did it already, but I only gave him 1 year to prove it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just look at it like it's a fail within the system. Once again, our guys are getting the low end of the stick. They're not being like who's the coach for the coach that got fired in Chicago. They made sure that Caleb Williams had everything around him. The guy still got fired.
You talking about Thomas Brown, the interim?
No, the guy before Thomas Brown. Eberflus, yeah, Matt Eberflus.
Yeah.
Who didn't do a good job where he was at before, but still got a head coaching job.
Right.
And then this guy in the interim, Thomas Brown, he on the chopping. They're not gonna keep the reins and let him run the next year. He on the chopping block. So I just D'Amico Ryans is currently the only coach that I can say from African American that is a coach right now that was given nothing and turned it around. Mike Tomlin actually inherited a good squad when he's the only coach that inherited a good squad being under a good organization, and you see he hasn't had a losing season since he's been with that organization.
True.
I just think that if people of our color are given the opportunity to get more than just a prove it year based off of a Rooney rule, because that's pretty much what this was. He was given a prove it year based off of that.
Well, pretty much, yeah.
Absolutely. I don't want to take up too much time. That's my take. I just feel like New England deserved what they get, man, for all them years of cheating and stuff like that.
Oh, good point too. I love it. Q. What with the firing and the first of all, let's go with a two-parter. New England unsuccessful, 4-13, unsuccessful, right? Jared Mayo fired, right? Q. So was this all on Robert Kraft and the Patriots front office, or was this all on Jared Mayo and his quote unquote lack of leadership on the field as a head coach?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, when we're talking about the Rooney Rule, I understand why it was implemented and why it was put in place to give black coaches opportunity to become head coaches. But as long as that rule has been put into place, I really feel like it hasn't done nothing. To me, I think personally they should get rid of it. It hasn't really acclimated to anything. It's just a name.
That's right. That's
all it is. It's just a name. It just haven't given any self-worth to us as as having self-worth to black African American head coaches. Not even really give you a chance, but at the same time, it really not giving you a proven chance. The thing about it, this is a sad situation for Jared Mayo, as far as him, being drafted by this organization and playing for this organization, such an in-house hire, to give an opportunity to coach a team that he's been part of for all these years. And nothing is getting the fact that looking at the shoes that he has to fill coming in, a dominant legacy by Tom Brady and Bill Belichick for so long. And he comes in into an organization that basically was a dumpster fire. Everything is just gone. I mean, just a desert town that he's has to try to get this back into their winning ways, and we know that it's going to take some time.
Yeah,
it's going to take some time. But Robert Kraft figured that maybe he can get somebody else in that can get this team up to speed, get this team up to caliber where he wants it to be. A lot of these owners, I think I don't look at it as far as them looking at African American coaches that they fire like this or whatever. They just want to be where everybody else at. I think the owners are caught up with instant gratification, as this is an instant gratification world. They don't want to take the time out to invest in someone and give it time like they used to. Give someone at least 3 years, at least 2 years. I mean, second year you see some type of production, and then the third year, if they go back to the first year, then you make your move. But after 1 year, I'm not going to go too harsh on it. I just think it was a sad situation for Jared Mayo. Maybe he can go somewhere else in the coaching ranks, and maybe collegiate or something, and maybe start a coaching career somewhere else.
Well, let me stop you right there, Q, because you in the area of what I want to ask you. I want to ask your opinion. You got Mark Davis, you got Robert Kraft, you got Jerry Jones, right? Those type of owners. Do you think that these guys really just need to lead the team along as far as decision making, coaching, and or whatever's on the field? Do you really think like a guy like Jerry Jones, Mark Davis, and Robert Kraft, and I just use those three because they're the biggest well-known owners in the National Football League that makes the big decisions? But do you think that they really need to get their hands out of the pot and just trust their staff?
I really think they do. I think that because of who they are, some of the top high-profile owners. They figure like they itching to be in contention right here, right now. Patience is not on their virtue. It's not on their menu.
That's what I mean. That's what I want to get out of you. That's it.
Yeah, I really figure that even if they trust you to a certain extent. So to me, not give you the full reign, that means they don't trust you at all. For them to have their input and step in. So they're gonna always be pushed. Whoever they hire, they're gonna be behind them, pushing them, constantly trying to see what's going on instead of sitting back. We don't have coaches like that no more. That I figure that come into this game. That most of these NFL owners, I feel that they don't really trust no more. They just don't really trust. I mean, you don't have coaches. You don't have the Bill Belichick's or the Bill Parcells out there no more. The ones that been around this game for 40-something years. That's been in and outs of this game. So it's hard for these owners to trust someone without really strong credentials. And they want to, they're gonna give you a shot, but they halfway don't trust you. So you're really behind the gun anyway. So it's hard to come in and be a coach unless you're gonna shine with immediate success. The first year, a 10-win team, maybe go to a 13 or 12-win team, and keep that consistent for 3 years without having a drop within the 3 years. That's hard to do.
It is hard, very hard.
But like the coach for Carolina that came from the offensive coordinator came from Tampa Bay. I think he's an excellent offensive offensive mind and a quarterback's coach. But they had their ups and downs. They had their downs earlier this year, being the first year. But he showed signs that he can get this team into some winning ways. He showed some signs. You know what I'm saying? And even though they went back, they regressed back, but he still showed some ways. Now, that's a little promise right there. And I think Jared Mayo did the same thing. I think he did the same thing. I think he showed some ways. He beat some teams. But you got to give him a second. You got to give him a second year to build off of that what they're trying to establish. But some of these owners, man, it's just like they figure they can get somebody else in there. They're gonna give them that instant 10 wins. So
that word gratification, what you said, I really like what you said. You said instant gratification. That's exactly what it is.
the world is so caught up in that so bad. Even it trickles down to owners and don't nobody want to be patient no more. I mean, all 32 teams can't win. Every year we're gonna have losing season within the 32 teams.
Right.
We don't have enough playoff spots for 32 teams. So so I mean, but it's going to be like that. What we're seeing now, the Dolphins was in the look at New Orleans, Drew Brees, the dominant all them years, and look at them now. I mean, but that's how it goes though. Everybody had their era, everybody had their time. So, but Robert Kraft, he especially, man, knowing all the time that he ought to have the most patience of anybody, because you done what a lot of teams ain't gonna be able to do. You'll get there, but you gotta have some. Anybody has patience, you all to. But the thing about it, I just really feel that it's a shame that a lot of coaches go through things like this. But Jared Mayo, man, you gave it a shot. You could control what the outcome was. Just like I say, I hope for your future endeavors that you will be able to accomplish some things that you really want. Somebody will give you a chance and let you go on with a coaching career that you might think that you can do well at. But I really feel like, I mean, this is not the last we're going to see this. I promise you we won't. It's not the last we're not going to see. And so, like I say, with Pierce out there with the Raiders, I mean, maybe that's a different scenario. Look what happened. Everybody jumped ship on the man. And and it's kind of hard to rally the troops when some of your main players is getting up out of there. You know what I'm saying? To grab the parachute, it's like they not respecting you. This and that. So we got a lot of cleaning up to do in the National Football League as far as getting these players. Stop listening to these players so much, and let the coaches. You put a coach in position to be a coach. And that's it. Just let the players just stop worrying about what they coming back talking about what the coach ain't doing and this and that. Stop listening to the players, man. Stop listening to the players. You start listening to the players, and these coaches can't do what they do. And then you're gonna have a revolving door of coaches because you listen to the players.
Right.
So it really is getting into a mess right about now. So maybe they need to bring back. I think Pete Carroll, he interested in coaching again. I know he old, but his resume.
Their targets is on variable.
Yeah, but I understand that. But I'm just saying that the man is old, but the man he's a respectable figure in the league. So depends on how much time he got in the tank. Maybe he can get somebody that he can groom up under him and get the players. Like I said, all these old school coaches are fading away. These new school coaches coming in, and it's just like a lot of these. It's hard to get these young players to believe in somebody's system that never seen work before. They've never seen being produced before in the playoffs or Super Bowl or championships or whatever, man. So I really don't have a whole lot to touch on with the way the coaching is today in the NFL. It's entirely different from what I'm used to. So you just got to go with the flow and just hopefully the best that you can get you can get the best years out of your coaching. We can be productive, but we're going to see these things time and time again because we got a lot of young coaches in. We don't have no longevity coaches in no more like we used to, like like Tomlin and Harbaugh and Andy Reid, the other Harbaugh. I mean, they're respected older coaches, but they're going to be fading out by the next 4 years or whatever have you.
Oh, yeah.
And then, what we're going to do then, you know what I'm saying? Got to have somebody that's going to step up the ranks of coaching. But I just, I don't really have nothing to say on it, man. I just say, like, I just hope the NFL gets it right.
I know that's right. And get it right now. I got one more question that's going to go to the episode and the MVP. But Mark, go back to Mark. What does this do to the Patriots franchise because right now this is a crucial time in the franchise with Drake May and his future. You know, they got $120 million cap space, and they got the 4th overall pick in the 2025 NFL draft. Well, how my question is, what does this do to the Patriots team? Like, do you think this throws everything off as far as, you know, again, with Drake May's future, with the cap space going into the offseason and the draft? You think this thing messes up everything or what?
I think it has the potential to. The only way to know what the ramifications are going to be depends on who they hire to be their next head coach. You never
because
want to
usually when you get rid of a coach, it kind of takes away everything what you're going to do in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Because now the new coach is going to want to take the team in a new direction.
Absolutely.
They might not have the same methods as the previous regime had.
There you go. That's what I'm getting at.
The way that I look at it, though, is the reason why I say it depends, is it all really comes down to Drake May. I really hope Robert Kraft doesn't screw up back-to-back franchise quarterbacks, and then you're joining a company with the Chicago Bears, and that's really not company you want to keep. In the sense of you have a young quarterback who just completed his rookie season, and literally not even a full hour after his rookie season ended, you fire his head coach. So now he's going to be going into his second year with a new head coach, and depending on the caliber of quarterback, that can either make him or it can break him. As we saw, you know, with the previous franchise quarterback they had in New England, the constant coaching changes really derailed Mac Jones's career. He started off looking really, really promising, but because all the turmoil in that organization, it fell apart really fast. And I would hate for that to happen to Drake May, because he showed a lot of the flashes that I like to see in my franchise quarterbacks. I like to do to handle adversity and still rally the team, to get motivated and still elevate the play of everybody around him. And that's definitely what Drake May did last year. So if they hire like Mike Vrabel, for example, I am curious to see what kind of staff Vrabel puts together, because you're going to need some type of offensive coach to really nurture and develop your young quarterback. And I don't know if Vrabel can do that, because he didn't really do it that well in Tennessee. When he inherited Mariota, he got rid of him shortly thereafter for Ryan Tannehill. He drafted Will Levis, and it didn't really work out for him. So I don't know if Vrabel has the coaching chops to develop or work with a young quarterback. So we'll see if he's the guy. I think they should really push all the chips in and try to go after Ben Johnson and try to get T. Higgins in free agency. If they're able to land Ben Johnson or land T. Higgins, it's going to elevate this team and make this firing of Jared Mayo less of an impact negatively on their team, and especially on that young quarterback.
T. Higgins is looking for a starting job.
And they got the money to pay him.
They got hella money to do it. And some. MVP.
We're going to have to disagree with you on that, Mark.
Bring it on.
Shoot it. Shoot it.
Had to steal your line for 1 second.
All right.
No.
Go ahead. Elaborate, brother. Oh, well, I was just going to say, what does this do to a Patriots franchise team? Because this is a crucial time right now. You know, you got the future of Drake May, their franchise quarterback. They got a $120 million contract, the most highest in the league, and $129 million cap space, and they got the 4th overall pick in the 2025 draft.
Right.
With all this happening, what does this do what does this do to the Patriots as an organization? Because like I just iterated, when you lose a coach, it kind of messes up your future. So what do you think?
Well, first, I don't think they're gonna go after Ben Johnson, because he want to be with a franchise where the owner is not going to be in his business. It's going to let him do what he need to do. But I mean, and that could be the case because for years, Robert Kraft let Bill Belichick build the team the way he wanted to, as long as he didn't get rid of Tom Brady. That was the only thing. And then when he wanted to get rid of Tom Brady, he had to pull up the reins a little bit and take back ownership of his team. But I feel like the Patriots is going to go with somebody that fits that organization. I like Mike Vrabel's out there. You might as well go get him because you already took a chance on the guy. You already hired Jared Mayo and fired him, an ex-Patriot guy. You brought Josh McDaniels back, and then he went on and left them and went to the Raiders, and then now I think he's something. Where's he at? What is he doing, Josh?
Nowhere where he's needed.
Nowhere. I don't know. They may bring him to. They might bring him to.
You never know.
Damn you, Rock. You just had to
never know.
They might bring him. They might bring him to New England to coach. Who knows?
You never know. You're right. You're right.
But I would like to see. I would actually like to see the Patriots go after Vrabel or either what's his name, Aaron Glenn. But I know Aaron Glenn turned down one team. I think it was the Patriots, wasn't it? It was one team he already turned down.
New England.
Huh?
He turned down New England.
Yeah, so Aaron Glenn's out. So I believe that's who he turned down, the Patriots, when I was reading the article. So I would think either Mike Vrabel or maybe bring Josh McDaniels in. Who knows? Somebody from the ex organization. Get Teddy Bruschi off the couch. Someone like, I don't know. But Ben Johnson, I feel like he's gonna go to an organization where he can have full control and help that organization build. Like whatever he brings to them, it's gonna be the first of his kind. Like he gonna go, if he go to New England, he's gonna walk in there and see all of them past championships, the banners. Yep. I understand going to an organization and you see that it's gonna make you win. But you also want to go to a new organization when you're a new head coach and not have so much pressure.
Absolutely.
Because there's guys that go to these organizations and have pressure, and then they're like, dang, I gotta win now, instead of being able to put their implement on the franchise and be the first. So to me, I feel like I've been hearing Ben Johnson and I know my Jags, we trying to interview Ben Johnson. I know we requested to interview Brian Flores as well. So, and that whole T. Higgins joint, T. Higgins probably coming down. T. Higgins real cool with T. Law from college. So who knows? But I think the draft with New England, I think they're gonna draft a wide receiver. Maybe the guy from Arizona. I heard the guy from Arizona, McCullen, I think. I can't pronounce his first name, but I think it's.
I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about.
Tetiora, I think. I don't want to mispronounce it.
I ain't going to screw it up. Yeah,
but T-Mac, the guy from Arizona, he'll be a nice number one receiver for them. Or who knows? Jump up there and go get Ashton Jennings since Ramondre Stevenson wasn't a good running back for them this year. Sorry, but anyway.
Word. No, you're right, Rock. Sorry, motherfucker. I said it for you. I said it for you, man. I said it for you. Oh, next
1 in fantasy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, motherfucker. All right, man. The next big topic is going on in the NFL. Lord have mercy. It is maybe former wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins, Tyreek Hill. Who knows? But the Dolphins met with Tyreek Hill to address the unacceptable situation in the season finale. The Miami Dolphins team brass, which is front office and everybody, the team brass met with Tyreek Hill. I'm already got a problem with this. I'm already got a problem with this already, but I'm gonna read it. Oh, I want to rant so bad. I want to rant so bad, bro. I'm already got a problem with this. But the Miami Dolphins team brass met with Tyreek Hill after the receiver indicated he wanted out following Sunday's season-ending loss to the New York Jets. General Manager Chris Greer and Coach Mike McDaniel said Tuesday that they each met with the wideout on Monday, but plan to keep those discussions private. Greer attributed Hill's actions to frustration over a subpar season, both personally and team-wise. And he said this, and I quote, "I would say Mike and I both had conversations with Tyreek," Greer said. "Yesterday we had productive conversations. I would keep those between us. The only thing I would say is in a frustrating season, he was very emotional. In a game where he had a chance coming back from 2-6. Jeez. I would say that's probably the thing I'm almost proud of. The players, Mike, the players, Mike, and the coaching staff, when we were 2-6, and we are playing in week 18 to potentially sneak in the playoffs. I think with all that and him playing through his injury, just kind of bubbled to a point from our conversations. Again, we will keep them private, but we had productive conversations." And I'll read this and shut up because I'm all fired up in the inside. On Sunday, Hill had been playing through injury. Much of the season appeared to take himself out of the game. After the loss, Hill indicated he wanted to move on, saying, and I quote, "I'm opening the door. I'm out, bro." Greer told reporters on Tuesday that Hill did not request a trade during their conversation. McDaniel, this is all fucked up. McDaniel said he had a 1-hour meeting with Hill in which he told the wideout leaving a game wouldn't be tolerated. The coach noted that there wasn't anything in their relationship that needed fixing. Q, my man Q, because now, bro, I'm just trying to not go on a rant here. Tyreek Hill, he checked himself out of the game. He told the media that he's out, bro. So apparently he is unhappy with what's going on in Miami, Q. What advice would you tell this young man right here, Tyreek Hill?
Well, it's not the advice. It's not the advice that I would tell him or any other player that want to act outside of the rules or the organization or the team rules. But a lot of them think that they're paid well enough that they can say these things, or they can do the things that they do. It's up to the ownership, to me, and the ownership and organization for them to put the gavel down, stop doing all kinds of talk. Suspend the man for the first game of the season next year. You're gonna have to start doing some things that's gonna make them wake these players up to let them know that they're not bigger than the team, or they're but you got to play within certain rules like everybody else. You got to follow rules like everybody else. Tyree, I can understand his frustration, wanting to move on in the playoffs, consecutive years back to back. Maybe like one and done last year, and also not making it this year, and knowing that he's getting older now, and then he wants to get back in contention like he was when he was with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I understand all these things, but for you to act act the way you acting, and they're saying that we're gonna hold things, we'll keep things between us, the wide out, and the owner, and all this kind of stuff like that, man. Y'all need to start making these players accountable, man. It's just that simple.
Touchdown, right there.
I can't get mad at Tyreek and other players if the owner's not doing anything about it, or your coaches ain't coming together and doing anything about these players.
Yeah.
So I mean, man, I don't know what that was, but I can remember, back in the day, the New England Patriots when they had Steve Grogan, man, that was the sorriest team alive back in the 80s.
Yeah,
But they kept playing
suck.
ball. Didn't nobody do anything like the New Orleans Saints with the brown paper bags. I mean, come on, man.
Went to the Super Bowl. Grogan won the Super Bowl, remember?
Yeah, he did once. Yeah, towards the end of his career. But I mean, I just get tired of all these players just doing the things they do, man. Because they get frustrated, walk off the field, and all this old crazy mess, man. They just divas. That's all they is, just divas.
There you go. There you go.
They just think they're better than everybody else just because they have a specific talent. And, man, miss me with these dudes, man. Even though Justin Jefferson, I can say my boy, even though sometimes he get frustrated in the games, and I understand all this, but he just don't do anything that's going to be detrimental to the team. I don't see him doing anything like that. He still hold it. He still hold his professionalism. That means a lot to him. But a lot of these guys, man, they just don't. They just agitate me, man. I don't really pay them no attention, man. I just let them go and do what they do. And the owners ain't gonna say nothing about it, so forget it. Ain't gonna worry about it. So I think that he just thinks just because of his talent alone, he's gonna always have a job, and people gonna always bow down to him. They're gonna let him do what he do.
Let him do what he do. He letting as they say, the inmates run the asylum. That's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what's going on. They're scared of him. Scared of him. The MVP. With all this, what I read, and what's going on with the Dolphins right now with all this, what does this do to the Miami Dolphins? That's the first part of the question. What does this do as an organization for Dolphins? Because it seems like they just can't keep things together here. And do you think that this is a setback on the Dolphins or a setback on Tyreek Hill?
It's a setback on both. Because reason I say that is because it's a setback on both because of the simple fact is Tyreek Hill asked for this. You asked to leave an organization where he's playing in a Super Bowl every year. He got too cocky. He got greedy. And then he felt as though that he thought that he was the main guy that kept that organization. He thought he was the reason that that Kansas City was winning the championships. He was a part of.
Absolutely.
He was a big cog in that
major part
that they had going over there. But obviously we seen that he wasn't the main reason because they didn't been back to back since he didn't roll up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And he had his chance to implement, to put his stamp on how he was going to change his career with going with Miami after leaving Kansas City. And his team couldn't even show up last year in the playoffs. And we already know that Miami don't show up past, 40 degree weather. So, what I mean?
It's true.
They win that they got this year was against Cleveland. And then they turned around and then got stomped. They got punished by the Jets last game of the season.
Facts.
I picked the Jets too, didn't I? I remember that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yep, you picked the Jets.
I picked the Dolphins.
I picked the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember I was laughing.
God damn.
Okay.
Terrible.
They played the Cleveland Browns last week. And I said, and Garrett Wilson scored, and Devontae Adams was cooking. Jalen Ramsey. I just feel like Miami, they dropped the ball because of the simple fact is, one, they brought him there to be their number one guy. Tua, their quarterback, he went out and said that Tua was more accurate than Patrick Mahomes. Tua can't even finish a whole season. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes to play through an ankle injury if he have to. But I mean, the brain injuries and everything of that nature, that's a different thing. But Tua's injuries towards the last of the season when his team's trying to get in the playoffs, and this is the same thing I said about Anthony Richardson too. These guys taking time off to recover from an injury that they could have recovered in week 7. Your team trying to get into the playoffs in the last 2 games of the season. Oh, I can't go out there and play. So you let Tyler Huntley go out there with your playoff hopes on the line. It ain't like you playing with the Baltimore Ravens. They got a all around good organization. You know what I'm saying? When he was playing to get them into the playoffs,
he was cooking. He was cooking with Baltimore.
Lamar Jackson was hurt. This is different. He's playing for Miami. Tua, you franchise guy. You supposed to be out there. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like they both dropped the ball because one, they brought him there to be the explosive guy, but he's not a leader. Obviously, we know he's not a leader because he decided to walk out of a good organization where he could have been winning championships, not even caring about trying to get into the playoffs. Because he'd been at home chilling, waiting to see who they're gonna play in the divisional round. So I just say it was his fault, and it's both on Miami because Miami knew that they could have put a better team together to try to make a run at things. Seeing as though you was getting a superstar diva receiver that was going to want to. He looking over there at Kansas City and saying, "Damn, they beat us last year, and then they rolled on and beat everybody else and won the Super Bowl again. Damn, what am I doing this year? Damn, they got the number 1 seed, and I'm sitting at home. That shit can bug a dude, man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I know people say I know some people out here say they make decisions with no regrets. With Tyreek Hill, you made a decision that you're regretting, and I'm just letting you know that, brother.
You eating that shit.
Nobody else let him do that. He made a decision that he is definitely regretting, and he got arrested the first game. And he got arrested the first game of the season in Miami. It was crazy.
See what I'm saying?
For no reason.
Eating a shit sandwich. Eating a shit sandwich with cheese. Boy, my man, this is your guy, Oklahoma State alumni himself. Well, Mark, my question to you, man. You know, Tyreek Hill said that he wants out. He said right here on the screen, he says, "I'm out, bro." He wants to get traded. It's 2 sides of the story here because literally he said, "I'm out, bro." That means he went out. But the organization saying, we haven't talked anything about a trade. He didn't say anything about a trade. Bullshit. But anyway, should another team take a chance on Tyreek Hill? And if so, what team will fit Tyreek Hill personally? What team will be best for him?
I definitely think that Tyreek Hill definitely still has some value in the National Football League. As far as what team he should go to, I think it's very simple. Tyreek Hill needs to go to a team that has a steady quarterback in place, a quarterback who does not get hurt, and most importantly, a quarterback who has the arm talent to get him the ball down the field where he can be most effective. For me, a good place for him to go would be either Baltimore to play with Lamar Jackson, because we saw what type of dishes Lamar Jackson was cooking when he had Hollywood Brown to throw to down the field. Or I would say to add another weapon and another layer to that offense, let him go to Buffalo and play with Josh Allen, because if anybody's arm talent is comparable to Patrick Mahomes, it's definitely 17, red, white, and blue. But I'm not going to let my fellow Real to Sports podcast panelists come up here and try to disgrace the great name of Tyreek Hill, a man who played a crucial part in helping Oklahoma State win a Bedlam game. Y'all not going to come after my boy and just get away with it. Q-Dog, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a young guy, but receivers have been divas my entire life. This ain't nothing new. Keyshawn Johnson literally had a headline article written about him where he said, and I quote, "Throw me the damn ball." Randy Moss was very much a diva wide receiver at times. You had him on your team with all the crazy antics he would do on national television, like mooning a opposing crowd on Monday Night Football. Or do I need to go down the list of what you had to deal with Stephon Diggs when he was in Minnesota? Or growing up with guys like Terrell Owens in the league and Chad Ochocinco, and I could go on and on for days. Like, please don't give me the mess of he's a diva wide receiver, because at the end of the day, when number 10 is out there, whether he's 100%, 90%, or whatever, if he can go, Tyreek Hill is gonna go. As the article said, the dude played hurt most of the season. And to be quite honest with you, he has every right to be frustrated. He's showing up, he's producing. The damn NFL players voted him the top player in the league last year over guys like Burrow, over Mahomes, over your boy Justin Jefferson, over every other player in the National Football League. They said Tyreek Hill was the best of them all because when he's on that field, he shows up and he shows out. So if I'm coming to work every day, if I'm banged up and I'm still giving you 110% and I'm producing, yeah, I would want to be paid when I'm worth in terms of a contract from Kansas City. Yeah, I'm going to be a little bit frustrated when my quarterback can't stay on the field to save his life and my organization won't come to the realization of that and get him the hell up out of there and get an actual NFL quarterback in Miami. Also, he's taking a step further. The dude has every right to be frustrated, and Q-Dog saying, well, they need to punish him. Who the hell in Miami is going to punish this dude? There ain't no leadership in that locker room. Mike McDaniel ain't got the backbone to discipline the players or nothing like that. That whole organization is soft. They are Lynn Swan levels of soft. Like, don't blame that on Tyreek Hill. That is not his fault. That man is tough. And to go to T-Rock's point about him leaving Kansas City, again, if you work hard and you're producing very, very well, what is he supposed to do? You've seen how down the tubes Kansas City went when he left. They couldn't get a wide receiver to catch the ball to save their life. And before he showed up, let's not forget, once upon a time, they had the longest streak in the NFL of touchdowns scored by everybody on offense but a wide receiver. When he came to town, he literally was the guy. He was the star of the show and quickly turned into one of the best wide receivers in football. So everywhere he's gone, he's produced. So yes, he deserves to be paid. He deserves to get what he's worth. He deserves to play for a competent organization and knows how to get him a quarterback that can get him the ball. Miami ain't that place no more. He bet on the wrong horse. In my opinion, if he wanted to go to Florida and not have to worry about paying the state income tax, he should have gone to Tampa. He could have teamed up with Tom Brady for a little bit, been a compliment to Godwin and Evans in that offense. And later on, he could have been playing with Baker Mayfield, who can definitely get him the ball downfield a lot better than Tua Tagovailoa can. So respectfully, ease up off my fellow Oklahoma State Cowboy, please.
You made our point.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I got to get in this one. Mark. Oh, I am pushing the button simultaneously because I disagree with Mark.
It's the handicap.
I got to disagree with Mark. Here we go. First of all, Tyreek Hill is a straight bona fide Oklahoma State biatch. He's a bitch. I'm going to tell you why. Because this is the same guy in the Super Bowl that was he doing this to Antoine Whitfield? Was he celebrating? Yeah, but was he celebrating and winning Super Bowls in Kansas City? Okay. So now he dips off to Miami, where he's bragging. Oh, I'm in Miami now. Yeah, Miami. I'm going to Miami. That's where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Turn up. Turn nothing. You turn nothing. See, my thing with these players like this is they all happy and smiling and stuff when they're winning. But when they're losing and when they're uncomfortable, you want to cry like a little bitch on the camera. I'm out. No, you need to stay. You're Tyreek Hill. You're the fastest guy in the National Football League. You're a 3-time Super Bowl champion. You was the guy. You was the fastest guy. Okay. You're Miami Dolphins. 2 years ago, the Miami Dolphins had the number 1 offense in the league. Was he complaining then? No, he was not. So now when things get uncomfortable, that's what bothers me. That's why I do not like the NIL. That's in college. When these players get uncomfortable, they want to start screaming, I want to go. I want to leave. This, to me, is going to tarnish Tyreek Hill's reputation as a football player. That's why I asked you, do you think He's gonna anybody. Of course, somebody's gonna pick him up. He's Tyreek Hill. He's a fast guy. But I guarantee you, Mark, out of all 31 teams, somebody gonna be like, I don't know, because he just quit on us. I mean, he just quit on the Dolphins.
He didn't pull Devontae Adams and quit mid-season on him. He literally played out.
He pulled himself out of the game, Mark.
And did that after the game.
But if you're hurt, right, and I get that, and I love that heart that you're hurt. I love it dearly. But what are you doing with it? If you're hurt and you're not producing, that's when you need to sit yourself down and get healed. What was his injury?
He had a foot injury that he played through that I know of, and he had some other injuries this season. He was not 100%, but he was still going out there every single week and producing.
If he was doing that, why stop now?
Because he's frustrated at the situation that he's in Miami. Like
tough shit. Life is tough.
As we saw,
life is tough. But if you're a dog, that's what I'm saying. This is what defines a dog. If you're a dog, you're gonna get out there and you're gonna play regardless. Just like a captain. A captain always go down with his ship. You shouldn't be getting on media and saying, I'm out, bro. I'm out.
I can feel what Mark's saying though, because Tua ain't is the guy who's supposed to be the leader of the ship. Can't stay healthy. He actually went to
Tua is not the leader. Tua is not the leader. Just because he's quarterback don't mean he's the leader. He's not the leader. Tyreek Hill is. He got experience in big games. He won. Yeah. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's been to the promised land and he's won it. He's been on the big stage. Tua's not the leader. Tua never been on the big stage. Biggest stage he's been on with the national championship, and that's college on the collegiate level. I'm talking about the pros of the pros, the championship of championships. Tyreek Hill owns it. He's the guy on that team. He's the guy that makes that team run. He's the guy that 2 years ago, they had the #1 offense in the National Football League. It wasn't Mike McDaniel. It wasn't Tua Tagovailoa. It was Tyreek Hill, the fastest guy in football. So you have that reputation as the cheetah. You have that reputation as the most dangerous deep threat in football. But now you're not right now. Suffering builds character. You're in a state right now where you are suffering. You're not winning. You're not winning nothing.
I feel like he has the right to voice his displeasure because of all the work he's put
everybody
in.
Does. Yeah. Everybody does. And I get the hard work.
I don't know any working adult. If I'm going to work every day and I'm busting my tail, but I got a crappy supervisor and a crappy manager over me, and I'm not getting paid what I should be getting paid, I'm gonna look for work elsewhere.
It's not about that. Let's leave money out of it because he's getting boatload of money. Let's leave money out of it.
No, I'm saying that in terms of why he left Kansas City, because Rocket brought that up. That's why he left Kansas City. That's why
maybe he should have talked about it in private, though.
Yes, he should have talked about it in private if you're dealing with it.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, like you said, Tyreek Hill is one of the leaders because he wear the captain. He wear the C on his jersey, right? Tyreek Hill got the C on his jersey.
And it's justifiable why he's frustrated because quite literally last year he had almost 1,800 receiving yards. This year he had 859. That is a stark drop-off, and it's primarily due to the incompetency of the Miami Dolphins organization.
What does the organization got to do? No, that's not the organization because you got Tua. Tua got hurt. That's not the organization's fault.
It is their fault because they knew Tua's injury history.
I get what you're saying. They ain't been able to get a guy to back him up based off of his.
Yeah, it's obvious that you need another quarterback in there because
they paid for him already.
He got knocked out multiple times last year, and they gave him a big contract. They gave him a big extension.
But listen, you Terry, you can't make that needle move, right? So now you got to deal with what you got. Mark, I know a guy, and you know a guy too by the name of Tim Brown that ate dog shit for years. With no quarterback, with a carousel of coaches and he did not bitch or complain and get on TV and say, I'm out. Did he not?
And Tim Brown was drafted before the year 1995.
But look at the principality about it. Did he not?
I can only name one. I can only name one wide receiver like that in the 2000s, and that's literally Larry Fitzgerald. Dudes aren't like that anymore. Like, even Myles Garrett is starting to express his frustration with his situation in Cleveland. Like, I understand stuff
That's
is
the
problem out, but
that's the
I
problem.
mean, if I'm putting in all this work and I'm quite literally one of the best players in the league, and my organization is failing to build around me, it's gonna get to a point where I can't give you the friendly discount no more, and I'm gonna
go in a dark room and cry. Don't get on national TV and do that shit. Right, and now you bringing down your whole organization. Now, so you're trying to sell yourself. You're trying to sell yourself now because you're saying I'm out. So basically, you're trying to say, hey, 31 teams, I'm out here. I'm saying I'm out. You think they're gonna look at you and be like, okay, yeah, let's pick this guy up? No, look what you're doing. It's bad for business.
The take is,
yeah. Tyreek Hill available? Yeah.
My issue with what host is saying is, I feel like we're trying to put him in a category with dudes like Antonio Brown and T.O. and Keyshawn Johnson. That's not who Tyreek Hill is.
No, he put himself in that when he made that Instagram post. He put his face on Antonio Brown body.
He's doing this shit now. He's doing it now, bro.
That's what he is. Jamar Chase was complaining earlier this offseason about not getting paid.
Athletes, listen.
Yeah, but what did Jamar Chase turn around and do? Triple crown winner.
Because he had a quarterback. Yeah. You can't tell me if Tyreek Hill didn't have a freaking Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or somebody like that. If he had one of those quarterbacks, he wouldn't have put up numbers.
He left that guy.
Yes, he would have. Yeah, he left that guy. He left Pat Mahomes.
And also another thing you got to take into account, Rock. Mahomes had to get paid. Once you pay the quarterback, it's hard to pay everybody else too.
He could have waited. He didn't want to wait. Listen, he wanted his bread now.
These dudes, these guys are not babies. That's why I read in the beginning, the whole staff now of the Tyreek, please don't leave. Everybody running Tyreek because he's whining. Shut up and play. Stop whining, bro. See, these athletes need to be businessmen before they're athletes. They need to be businessmen.
He was being a businessman when he got out of Kansas City. That was him being a businessman.
But he need to think about what he's saying. Look what you're doing on national TV. The media love this shit. When he left
Kansas City, it was when he first got to Miami, he said it was about winning. It was about winning. I left Kansas City because he wanted to go somewhere where he can win on his own, right?
That was a politically correct answer. He was boosting up Tua to boost up Tua's confidence. That's what he was saying. That's what he was saying in the media.
But that's what I'm saying.
He was playing the game the right way, in my opinion.
And now he's regretting it.
I don't put him in that category with the divas
he's
and
regretting
the dudes that
what
whine
he's
and
saying
complain
now.
all the time.
He should have went to Miami and been like, I left Kansas City because it was a business decision. And now things ain't going the way he said it because how he hyped up.
Going right.
Ain't how he hyped up leaving. If he'd have went to Miami and ain't said nothing and just played ball and then now said something about the situation, then I wipe my hands with it, bro. Go ahead, lead on.
But he waited until after the game. He still showed up and played in that last game.
Why he said 2 years ago?
He didn't pull it.
Why you said 2 years ago when they had the number one offense in the league?
Or why he said last year when they lost in the? Did he say it after the playoff game in Kansas City last year?
No, and also another thing too. Now that I'm thinking about it, didn't he already put it out there a couple of years ago that when his contract was up, he was going to be gone anyways? That was like 2 or 3 years ago when he said that.
Where?
Oh, but I don't remember saying that shit.
When he was in the Jets, when he was with Miami, he only been with Miami for what, 2 seasons?
Yeah, when he recently signed an extension with Miami. He made that quote. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
This bull, he's a baby.
Because I think he got there in like 20.
my boy T Hill ain't no baby, man.
This is his third year. This is his third season with Miami coming up, right?
Third.
He'd been
should
with
be
them for a
third.
minute. I forgot when he went there.
2 years ago, he had number
Good
one
day after the
offense in the league.
2022 season.
I
They
want
were
to say it
scoring
might have been
points
after
left and
20.
right.
It might
The
have been
Dolphins
after
were.
2021.
Huh?
He got
Bro, they
drafted
was-
in 18 and wanted a new contract. So I think it was sometime. I think it was like 2021, 2022.
Yeah, the 2022 season was the last time Tyreek Hill played for Kansas
Yeah,
City.
he went to Miami in the 2022 season. He
Yeah.
played in Kansas City from 18 to 21, and then from 22 to present, he's been with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
What I'm
Because his
saying
first year
is,
with Miami, they didn't make the playoffs, right?
Yeah, because that was like two of his first year, something like that.
And then the next year, he went with Skylar. No. Matter of fact, they did make the playoffs. No, or did they lose to Skylar? Didn't Skylar Thompson was their quarterback that first year in the playoffs?
No, I think that was
Mike
23
White.
because that was the same
Was that
year
Mike White?
that DeMar Hamlin got hurt. So I want to say that was 23.
Last year.
Year before last, bro. We in 2025.
Yeah, damn, you're right. My bad. We are. I keep forgetting this. It's 2025, man. Well, last year was 2024 season, yeah. Because the playoffs be in January and shit like that.
Yeah,
It's been a long week, man.
What you telling?
This has been a long week.
Who you telling?
He's up off my boy T Hill, man.
Nah, he needed. If you're gonna be a superstar,
he didn't ease off Antoine Winfield.
You gotta get superstar criticism. You
Yeah,
got
right.
a Super Bowl winning quarterback to go play with somebody who you hyped up, and then you see this guy go host a Lombardi 2 times after you done left. That's
now you ain't doing it. Now you hurt.
That's hurting his pride because he's like,
damn,
it's
killing his pride.
Me.
So both of y'all are older than me. Did y'all give Randy Moss the same treatment when he wanted up out of Minnesota and then wanted to complain his way out of Oakland? Did y'all say the same thing to Randy Moss?
No, because he ended up playing in the Super Bowl. He ended up being the reason that the biggest part of the reason why New England went undefeated.
Hell yeah!
And if Tyreek Hill went to Baltimore, Buffalo, it'd be the same story.
I honestly think Tyreek Hill should go to Tampa Bay though. If he don't want to leave Florida,
for the Raiders,
I can see him playing for Tampa.
In 2005, we played for the Raiders. We ran him to death. He was tired.
Miami ain't doing that.
Because he was the best thing we had.
I don't know. Jalen Waddle be giving Waddle,
one of the fastest guys too.
Jonnu Smith had over.
You had Giuseppe, a good tight end. So come on, bro. You had the number 1 offense 2 years ago. They was putting up points left and right.
Team and double team Tyreek Hill on a lot of possessions.
The Dolphins was so deadly, bro. They was putting up points like no other.
I think his best game. His best games this year was against his best games against this year was against inferior talent.
When Host is
if you look at Tyreek Hill games log this year, I think his best games was against teams that was below 500. I just want
to point out when Host said that when the Dolphins had number 1 offense, it was in large part to number 10 because that man had 1,700 receiving yards both of them seasons.
And what he had 13? He had 12 or 8 touchdowns, 8 to 12 touchdowns.
Hello.
Hold on.
But if and that's fine. And right, what I'm saying is you don't have that anymore. So guess what? You're Tyreek Hill. Bring it back. Do what you got to do. Okay, you've been high.
That year started off bad for Tyreek Hill anyway.
He came in high. He won a Super Bowl. Look, you got number 1 offense. Now it's your time to be low. Be humble. Chill out. Go heal in the off season. Come back strong.
I think he won out because he got arrested that first game of the season, yo. I think that left a bad taste in his mouth. Getting arrested on you. Huh?
You really might be right. I think.
About what?
On top of what happened to him off the field in Miami, and then given like the disappointing season they had on the field, it would make sense if that's the case, right? I can understand that.
Like, I'm a superstar athlete for this organization. You want to sit here and tell me y'all don't got the local police don't know who I am coming in? They almost arrested him and Calais Campbell the week 1 against when we played against Miami, and like you said, how the season ended. I think that left a bad taste in his mouth because Noah he didn't get that type of treatment at Kansas City.
No,
it's something about what they do down there in Miami. The superstars, superstars don't get that special treatment down there like they think they did. That's what made LeBron leave. Pat Riley. Not to switch subjects, but them superstars want to roll up out of Miami for some strange reason.
Shit going on there.
What's going on with the Hurricanes?
Rock, tell Queen Rock that I got the timing right.
My man Mark.
Wide receiver university, baby.
I give you that.
And running back.
I give you that. Justin Blackman.
I ain't wide receiver U. Wide receiver U is LSU, bro.
LSU.
Chase Jefferson, Brian Thomas, Malik Neighbors. That's wide receiver U.
Dez Bryant. Come on now.
We talking about in the league now. In the league now. If you add up them dudes that I just added up, I think that's over 5,000, maybe over 6,000 receiving yards between them 4 dudes.
What school producing better running backs right now though? You can't take that away from us.
Alabama, Jacobs and Derrick Henry.
And Gibbs.
You can't say that about Florida State, though.
Fucking Gibbs, dude. Gibbs on one.
Yeah,
Gibbs
Alabama
on one,
running
bro.
back you. Alabama running back you.
What? Bo Scarborough? Najee Harris?
There ain't not
Trent
running
Richardson?
back. There is
Eddie
not
Lacy?
running back from
Mark
Alabama
Ingram?
that can hold a candle to Barry Sanders, and y'all know it.
No, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna go that far. Barry Sanders is the greatest of all time.
You can have Ingram.
I said one, Derrick Henry, bro. Derrick Henry on that 2K list. We can't take that.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Longest rushing touchdown in NFL, 99, and I witnessed it, and I hated it, but I witnessed it.
He ain't Barry.
And Mark was laughing.
Adrian Peterson is the best thing close to Barry Sanders. Adrian Peterson, bro.
I don't know.
That dude was a fucking
Barry
animal.
was more of an agile. When I think of
Adrian was too. Adrian Peterson was a runner. He was finesse. He was powerful.
I would rank Peterson like more in that Dickinson and OJ and Jim Brown.
I give you that too.
Type of running back.
You're right.
Yeah.
Jamal
But
Lewis.
you can mix everything in a pot with Adrian Peterson. He was that great, and it took him to the NFL MVP.
Priest Holmes for me. Priest Holmes for me is like the closest I seen to Barry Sanders, and that's just in a small sample size because of how small Barry Sanders' career, how short his career was. And that's just me. Anybody else?
Barry's the greatest of all time. Barry Sanders is the greatest of all time. He is.
All them compliments you gave Adrian Peterson, ain't he the all-time leading rusher in NFL history? Don't he have a single season rushing record?
Oh, well.
You funny, bro. You know that record ain't been broke yet.
Boy, that's crazy.
Bro. That record ain't been broke yet.
Q, he coming at you, bro. Q, he coming at you, Legend Frazier, bro.
Q don't need to say nothing. His team in the playoffs.
I can't do a show with Q
dog, man. It's been a long working day for the dog, man.
But I think his team play. Y'all play Monday night, right?
That's a working man right there, boy.
The Vikings play Monday night.
That's a working man right there, boy. It's a bad time.
Yeah, man.
They got 2 straight primetime games. So
I'm intrigued. Watch the game all day tomorrow. I will be in tune. I'll tell him Mark backstage, man. I will kind of be in tune in this Chargers-Texans game. Baltimore, I just seen it. Baltimore is Pittsburgh. I'll be watching it, but I'm
I ain't watching that shit. That's on Prime.
I mean, come on, man. I'm ready for Sunday. I want to see Buffalo and Broncos. I want to see the Eagles in the pack, and of course, I want to see the Vikes. Oh, I want to see all Sunday games. I'm ready for that. But yeah, can't wait.
The game I'm looking forward to is that, and it's crazy because it's a little family rivalry within these two games. The Bucks, one of my main mans, he a Buccaneers fan. My little brother, a Commanders fan. And then with the Vikings and the Rams, brother, a Rams fan. And then his partner that, been one of my young Bulls, he a Vikings fan. So it's gonna be pretty hectic at the end of this weekend with the fam.
I love it.
My brother called me after the Commanders game and said, "What you think about your Commanders?" I was like, "Man, if y'all go one and done, you gonna hear from me." That's all I told him.
That's what I'm talking about. You talk that shit now. You better be able to back it up. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for the day, man. For tonight. As always, we want to thank you for watching another episode of the Rooter Sports Talk Show. This time, we are after dark. And please remember to give your boys, the OG, the legendary Q-Dog, Mr. Episode, the Day One, Young Mark, and the 2024 Rooter Sports Podcast MVP, Rockstar Rock, man. Give these three gentlemen a big thumbs up, man. I personally want to thank these gentlemen for being on tonight, making time out to be on the show. I'm telling you, it's much appreciated. They didn't have to tonight, but they was here because these guys love talking sports. So, on behalf of the world, we thank you three for being on the show tonight. All right, man. If you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell for all notifications here as we get on up out of here. And why not get up out of here with the MVP himself? Take it there.
I just want to say thanks, hoes. You helped me win this bet tonight because we definitely didn't go past 10 o'clock. So the wife be upstairs, and I know she's gonna be like, yeah, I told you.
Yeah, got him.
Shout out to everybody out there. I know the storm, the snow is matriculating its way through our illustrious world, our country, and I know it's coming down south. I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but y'all be safe out there. Watch out for the black ice, and once again, real to sports.
Yeah, baby. And we'll be back next Saturday. Oh yeah, next Saturday. Oh yeah. With more NFL news to talk about, and we really want you. We want to hear from y'all. We really want to hear from y'all. Q, when Q closes out, he calls out everybody. Red and where's Drunk? That's all the OGs in the live chat. Where the hell are y'all at? But anyway, those of you who watch the show, we want to hear from you guys too. We want you to come and talk football with these three gentlemen right here as well. Be a part of the show. Be a part of the show, man. Just because you're not on the show don't mean you're part of the show. So let's get that live chat jumping, shall we? Let's get it going. Speak your mind, give your opinion. I'll post it all, man. Let's get a good debate here. And you guys come down, y'all come on and sit down and talk sports with the dog and the MVP and Mr. Episode. So again, come on back, man. Next Saturday, 1 p.m., the Rooter Sports Talk Show live right here on YouTube. And please remember the people of Los Angeles, California. Remember to support mental health. And if you're going through, remember, never fight alone. On behalf of myself, the MVP, the dog, and Mr. Episode, everybody around the world, please be safe and stay safe. And that, soldier, is in order.